Welcome back to Lift Talk. This is episode 38, and I'm here with Jacob Sofianos and Kris Andrews. Boys, how are we?
Pretty good.
Yeah, doing pretty good, mate.
Nice 20-hour flight from Perth. How was it?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Actually, not really. I haven't slept.
Yeah, he was silly and took the red eye.
Don't take the red eye.
And your hay fever's flared up.
Yeah, it's this Sydney weather, mate. It's terrible over here.
So you boys are here to commentate and MC the SBD Cup tomorrow. How are we feeling for it?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's going to be nice to be at a comp where I'm not having to run around to organise everything, so I actually enjoy it. And I think the list of lifters is incredible. So I think it's going to be an awesome afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah, so I was actually talking to the other Kris behind the mic, and I was telling him that you're coming. And he's like, well, why the hell am I doing the stream? And I was like, because Kris needs a fucking day off, mate. But you don't even get a day off. You're going to be emceeing. You're going to be commentating. What about you, Jacob? What are you looking forward to?
I literally feel the same as Kris. After the hype of some of the meets we've had over in the West Coast, travelling around, it's going to be nice to actually do a bit of a different job for this one and actually just watch the show unfold. I feel like I haven't had a chance to do that in so long.
Yeah, talk me through Power Mania. So that was, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, October 6th?
5th, yeah.
5th? October 5th.
So
Yeah.
you guys are sort of co-meet directors. Is that fair to say, or is it mostly you, Jacob?
Nah, Kris definitely is co-meet director.
So
for sure.
what is your vision behind that comp? And I guess that kind of ties into one of our topics today, which is like growing the sport itself. What's your vision for a comp like Power Mania and Night of Champions, and how that kind of fits into the puzzle of growing powerlifting in the country?
Well, we had a weird opportunity with no longer doing state championships with APA. A lot of our community really got around it. Like states last year was actually pretty crazy. 2 platform, 2 days. It ran really well. So we wanted to kind of replicate that, and we were given the opportunity to have that meet at the Perth Convention Centre, which hasn't had a powerlifting meet since 2017, I'm pretty sure, when Dikey had come over. And so we were like, okay, let's make this big. Like, let's go as big as we can for this. And then we did Night of Champions. We wanted to do Night of Champions 2. And we said, well, why don't we make that the primetime session? And we run the double platform during the day. So we end up having 130 athletes in a single day. I'm 99% sure making it the biggest single day powerlifting event in Australian history. So, yeah, I think just being able to do that is something really special. And now it's like, okay, we've done that. I don't know how we can really push the envelope anymore than in a single day.
Was the plan to like replicate it again next year?
Nah, it's big. Like double platform, I think we've done it. Like
Was it all in one? Was it all in one day?
Yeah.
Would you spread it over 2 days then?
We've talked about doing another meet next year, or 2 different meets. So single platform, 2 day, just to put a bit more attention on just the one element. And, it's half the spotters and loaders, half the referees, half of everything. So it's a lot less demanding. And then just hosting 2 bigger events. So instead of just the one major one. And then having Night of Champions in a theatre. That's the next big one. What do you reckon, Kris?
Yeah, I think it's I think you're right. I think the 2 platform, whilst it's cool, it does sort of divide the attention of the crowd, and we had 60 plus volunteers on the day, which is crazy. It was really cool.
It almost like leaves no space for spectators because everyone has a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think the other thing too for us, Jay wanted to really break out of doing gym meets. We had a really big gym in Perth that used to run like a mountain of meets.
But Ruchis?
Yeah, Ruchis used to run huge meets, and they done awesome for the sport. But I think it sort of became the comps were always at the same place, and so we didn't want to fall into that at Strength Club. Like after probably 6 meets in a row at the club, we're like, we need to break out. We need to start to go to different venues. Take away that perceived home crowd advantage sort of thing for the lifters that train at Strength Club. And just make them feel a bit more sort of sporting event rather than in the gym.
Yeah, not just going to the same place that you go every day.
It was like, well, an example with Ruchis, and like those guys did so amazing. Like honestly, in terms of meet directing and the production and everything, what do you think we got our inspiration from?
Yeah, they said they really did.
We had it in our backyard. So instantly when they had stopped running meets, there was this standard to meet because that's what the WA community was used to. So we couldn't go backwards from that. So when we started running these meets, same thing. I just realized SC1 is only 300 square meters. So there's only so many people I can fit in a day over a weekend. And what ended up happening is we couldn't fit more spectators. So we were shoving 100 people in probably like a 50 square meter space, I reckon. And it's just, what's the point of the meet if we're not getting more eyes on the sport, right? So it also became a part of we're just outgrowing it. So when we've done this meet out, I really wanted to make it feel different. I didn't want it to fall in that trap where the novice meet looks like the local meet, which also looks like the national event, which also looks like the invitational. They should all feel different. You should feel like...
Yeah, there should be a step up between each
level. A step, yeah. You should feel like you're working your way. And I think we've created that platform now. I'm really excited to release that for next year as well and give people a guiding light.
Is there any other gyms in Perth that could pick up the slack? Like, is there any actual options that could run meets as well?
If you find them, please let me know.
Because that's the first thing that came to my head was like, you guys could probably go into another gym and be like, hey, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
This is how the stream works. This is how we spot, load, whatever. We'll provide you with some volunteers for your first couple meets and then you'll be on your own. Like, I feel like that would be a good way to kind of diversify things a little bit.
We've offered it. Like, we have. People just, I think, get used to the standard. Like, when you run good stuff, right? So Perth's a bit of a weird place with powerlifting in terms of its sectors. Like, there are gyms that are just APL and they just do all APL. There are gyms that do just GPC. We're very lucky that the coaches and the meet directors and the owners of those gyms, we all kind of talk and trade volunteers and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite collaborative on that end. But it's Perth, man. There's just not that many gyms, like in all reality. So unless we open up SC South and SC North, it's still...
You're going to be the next Thomas Lilly.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So going back to Night of Champions, obviously invitational meet, how does that... What's your target for that compared to what we're doing here at SPD Australia? Because we've spoken about this before, how we don't have much of an overlap in terms of what we're actually after. Can you explain what the sort of process or the thought process behind that competition is?
Yeah, well, Kris actually did the selections. I removed my bias on that. So
none of your lifters in?
Nah, none of my lifters did it at all.
Just 8.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was like 8.
It's like all of them.
almost half. Yeah.
I train good people.
But yeah, it's look. So I guess particularly I suppose we had a slightly different criteria this year to what we ran in Night of Champions 1.
What was Night of Champions 1?
So Night of Champions 1 was really about the best of the best in WA. So we had 5 lifters from the first Night of Champions who represented Australia within the following 12 months. I guess for the second one, just because of how aggressive APA has been with internationals this year, we've sent massive teams everywhere. We obviously had a lot more lifters going internationally this year. And without states as that kind of second tier high level meet, we turned the focus a little bit and sort of said, we just kind of threw it out there and went, look, let's try and aim not to have any current international athletes. So anyone that's going to Worlds, Oceanas or anything this year, let's try not to have them at the meet unless we really can't find someone else.
Lucky that Jonesy missed weight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we then focused 100% on finding 2 people in a weight class who are going to go head to head. We always in the back of our head had hey, they need to have some sort of minimum GL. They need to be in the upper echelons of lifters in WA, but they don't necessarily need to be the absolute best. But they need to be very good, and they need to have this very close head to head. We want third deadlifts to mean something, So that was really what we tried to focus on, was bring in the local WA talent who isn't going internationally this year, but who has a very close rivalry. And I think what you're seeing was that, for the large majority of that cohort, they added significant numbers over that 6 months because they just trained super hard.
Yeah, they were pushing each other, and there was especially I can just imagine the Taj and Samisi banter going on back and forth, good. Pushing each other, and I thought that was really cool. The way that it all unfolded, the way that you guys did your media, where you kind of unlocked each athlete as you went along and each battle. I thought that was really cool.
We wanted to focus on homegrown heroes. I guess that's the best way to describe the meet itself. It's these are...
Mate, Jonesy's from Melbourne.
Yeah, not really though. Singaporean, isn't it? Jonesy's a perfect example, right? Like, this is his first meet as a head-to-head battle, like battling for big prize money ever in WA. The guy's been competing for a decade. Like, how is the first time we're actually doing this? Like, that's crazy.
He went head-to-head with one Alex Hayes back in the Fitness Expo
Who won
at
that
Sydney.
one?
Jones narrowly. Narrowly by 50 kilos.
Narrowly by 50. Wiped you.
Back in the
He
83
wiped
class.
you, eh? I think it's just homegrown heroes, creating those storylines with these guys who have maybe been close rivals in local meets or national meets, and being able to just like build that out so they can push each other, especially the ladies. Like, we've had an absolute stack of ladies, cross federation come over as well. And that really raised it, like really pushed a tier. And like Kris said, we didn't want to have someone in it that their GLs are so high. Like, everyone's like, oh, why is Nat not doing it? And it's like, don't get me wrong, I love watching Nat, right? I love doing it, but it's too far ahead. When there's so much closer battles, it's to the wire. Like, that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about the Sheffield format that, you know, we've adopted for our comp, is that, like, you don't go into the meet with someone like Nat who's 15 GL points higher than the next person, knowing she's going to win going into it. It's like you immediately level the playing field a lot.
Yep.
Which makes, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow super, super exciting. There's going to be half a dozen lifters vying for the podium.
Exactly. And it makes it so exciting. Like, it was literally like just a mixed bag of jelly beans on who people thought were going to take out that overall prizes. Like, they were definitely favourites, but it's anyone's day, as we know in powerlifting, and that's what made it really cool. So, yeah, the media just highlighting those lifters, like the amount of DMs we're getting now of like, how do I get a Night of Champions 3 invite? Like, how do I do it? What do I have to do? And we just over doubled our prize money. We were $3,000 last year. This year we were $8,000 total prize pool. So hopefully we cross that 5-digit mark next year and just keep raising that standard, really.
Yeah, beautiful. Something you mentioned, Jacob, was APA going away from states. My opinion was that states was particularly harmful for New South Wales in terms of particularly just the schedule. There just wasn't enough local meets on in the year, and then the number of lifters that qualified for states because the QTs were so low was just outrageous, and they had a 3-day just men's New South Wales states. Like, it's just insane.
It's silly.
But it seems to me like you guys actually enjoyed states in WA.
Yeah, it's a different culture thing. Maybe it's our population density as well. You know, like Masters, Juniors, Open totaled 130 people last year. Power Mania was 130 this year. So imagine if it was states and everyone had to do that meet. I reckon we would have got to 180, 200 people locally doing that meet.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of states, and I do like the idea of state records, though I think we've had this conversation, Alex. I don't think states should be a requisite for nationals. I think it should just be another local meet called states where people of maybe a certain criteria can do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another local meet on there. So maybe they have to have a minimum GL or whatever it is, and you can have state records. Because at the end of the day, we're, thanks to our amazing QT committee, the Chris Andrews fan club is actually what it's called.
We actually named our Instagram chat the Chris Andrews fan club.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how buttery your voice is on commentary.
It's so
hilarious.
Good. We'll get to that, actually. That's a whole topic itself. But, you know, Open Nationals is going to be just so competitive now to get into. It's hard, which is a good thing for the sport, because my bias of having it in Perth, we're going to be able to put on such a good show. But, you know, if you've got 2,000 members and only 168 or something are getting into nationals, there's a big gap between local and national level now. I think having states or invitationals, or what was that other one that had the couples and stuff?
Power
Pals, yeah.
Awesome idea.
That was cool.
Like, that was a fantastic idea.
I want to do state of origin.
Yeah.
Yes. Just, I think things like that we can do to hit that middle ground a bit better, and it continues to build out our middle tier athletes to one day be our future national and world champions.
And I think that's like part of the beauty of allowing meet directors to have fun with competitions.
Yes.
And like actually give them the freedom to do cool things and have different ideas and try stuff.
Yep.
Like we've seen in at the Strength Fortress, they do team champs. Sick meet. Like they expanded to 2 days this year, and they had like a sort of like a lower tier of lifters on the first day, and then the championship tier of lifters on the second day. And anyone from the first day could win, but they had the disadvantage because they were on the first day, and you have to like earn your way into that primetime day. They changed all the formatting
That's cool.
and it's growing. And like I spoke to JP, he wants to like do like a regional like qualifying to get into the actual team champs and like all this other stuff. And like we've got so many ideas, and it's just really cool to actually give meet directors that flexibility and freedom to like just like try stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's also like, you know, we've spoken about this many times. You're going to nationals to try and go to worlds or regionals, right? Like that's the point of having nationals. But there's so much more to powerlifting than just that. And for, you know, 75% of our population or more, that's going to fit that criteria. And, you know, we need to feed that 100%. We need to get creative and
I
have some
think
fun.
that's kind of an issue with the upcoming crop of particularly the juniors, is like they almost think they're entitled to going to nationals because the standards have been so low previously.
Yeah.
That it's almost like we have to like remind them what it was like 7, 8, 9 years ago. Like I remember the first open nationals that I did was invite only. There was 84 lifters.
Yep. 100%.
At a
You used to get
fitness
the
expo.
text message or the phone call.
And there was there was a few classes that had 1 or 2 people in them.
Yep.
And it was like there was some classes that had 12 because there was better depth, whatever. But there was no complaining back then that you didn't get an invite. It was kind of like expected. Like if I get to go to nationals, that's actually a privilege.
Yeah.
And I don't think that really is the way people think at the moment. I think people just assume that they're entitled to that.
I agree, because I think that was a precedent probably set up from previous standards though. Do you know what I mean? I think if we change those standards and we change the way we view nationals, you know what I mean? We celebrate people actually getting there and working hard to qualify for that level of meet. It's not going to be for everyone, but that's okay. And I think if we can keep pushing that to the crowd and to the community, saying, you know, well, we want to keep raising the standards so that we can produce these future world champions. That's the point.
Yeah. I think I need to turn the volume down in the gym. Do I need to turn it down, Kris?
Yes.
Yeah, just give me 2 secs. Sorry, whoever's training. Where were we?
But no, I do think there's a level of like, I'll just get to go. And unfortunately, it's a crossroads, right? And having hosted now 130 person meet with Kris and the whole team at Strength Club, it's volunteer hours, man. Like you have to be able to put your hand up. You know, you can't be having 300 person national meets that run into a Wednesday. Who's going to come watch you on a Wednesday? We're going to get no crowd. People have to take off work and fly. Like they've got to stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday. To do that, you can only fit X amount of people per day.
Yeah, and like
that's the way it's going to be.
I've spoken about this before. When I used to play basketball and footy, like I played basketball at a high level, and I only went to 3 state championships in my whole like 15 years of playing.
Yeah.
And 2 national championships in my whole 15 years of playing. And it was like, I was never like annoyed that I couldn't get to state or national level. It was something you have to earn. And I'm hoping that we can sort of build that into the culture over the next few years. And that becomes like part of a thing that you work towards, not just a thing that you turn up and you second meet you're at nationals. Because I don't really think that's what nationals is for.
No, absolutely. I think the shift in the international scene over the last 18 months, I think will help us with that journey as well, where like, I mean, you look at, I don't know, say the 93s in the US, where like 5 of the top 93s in the world or whatever, only one of them gets a world spot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so there's all these battles popping up internationally now, all these federations, juniors are coming through doing insane numbers. The reality is that this is starting to play out all over the world. And I think this is where meets like SBD Cup, you know, the SBD meets around the world, invitationals, just having some really good local comps outside of gyms, you know, that's where we really need to hone in and have some, you know, it only has to be a couple a year, but give local level lifters like myself the chance to lift in a different venue, in a cool space with a decent number of spectators, things like that. Because, yeah, to your point, I played high-level sport my whole life as well, and it's like, man, shit was cutthroat to get that one position that you played on that team, even at a state level. There was like 50 other people vying for that one spot, right? I think so. As we grow this as a sport, and I think that's the key here, is that we're not just lifting in a gym anymore. Like raw drug tested powerlifting is becoming a behemoth
thing,
of
man.
a sport,
It's a
right?
real
Like
thing.
it's on the up, and so we've just got to make sure we take care of the local lifters, because at the end of the day, that's the big chunk of our member base. And if you look to the States, that's what hurt PA, Powerlifting America, in those first couple of years. They're starting to turn it around now, but you can clearly see that switch now, where they've realised we need to run better local meets. We need more meet directors, because otherwise USAPL just keeps killing us at the local level. Doesn't matter how good we are at the national level. So, and you're starting to see that now. They're partnering Pete Spence more and things like that to put on, a bit more meets that mean something, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's a good shift, and we need to do something similar and take care of that. And I think it's also good that at a local level you can compete with multiple federations at a local level, as long as they're drug tested, right? So if you want to do APL at a local level, cool, you can, and you can still come and compete at APA. That's not a problem. It's only once you want to start to go nationals and above that you need to think about Article 14 and make a decision. But so I think that's what we need to do. Letting meet directors have the fun, like you said. The rules aren't as stuffy as we've been made to believe in the past. You can do these things. Yes, you have to stick within the IPF rules to make it a legitimate meet. You can't just give people
4 attempts and you can't actually change the rules. But there's a lot of freedom.
But you can work within them. So, and I think we're starting to see that, which is cool, right? We've got to start to produce this more, make it more interesting, open it up to more people.
And I think that also draws in half of the awesome thing with me and Kris coming over here to be a part of SBD Cup is that it is a mini Sheffield in Australia. That's very different for us. We haven't been to that. I mean, we're going to Sheffield next year.
We've never even held it.
Exactly.
It hasn't happened
yet.
It's
the first time, right? So let's let it rip. But that's exciting for us, and we've been in the sport 10 years. That's crazy. So I think to be able to create that thrill for the spectator, do you know what I mean? This isn't just someone winning on body weight and total anymore. This is something totally different. Closer head-to-heads, and we have to... The beauty of social media now is we can market that. We can reach the spectator. We can explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, who it is. We create that storyline. People love storylines. That's the other big thing that me and Kris really tried to harness with the WA crew is... If there's a story, people will resonate with it, and maybe we're inspiring another person to get on that platform, and that's what we want to do.
And also it adds an element of enjoyment to watching a stream or watching a comp when you don't know someone.
Yeah.
Because powerlifting's pretty boring if A, it's a low quality, or B, you don't know anyone. And if you're just turning up to a comp and someone's lifting a lot, but you don't know anything about them, it's impressive, but that's kind of the end of it. Yeah. Whereas if you know, this person's a mother of 2 and she works shift work and, she gets her training done when she can, that might add to the story for when you go and watch it. And you go, this person's actually, legitimately incredible. This is actually much more impressive than not knowing these things before.
100%.
And yeah, I've said this before, but something like Formula 1, that Drive to Survive series on Netflix, I could think of nothing more boring than watching cars go around a track. Legitimately.
I have to agree with that.
Sounds like... I've never watched Formula 1 and I never will. No. It sounds horrendous. But the number of people that got into Formula 1 because of the way that they marketed it and the way that they delivered that program on Netflix is a real, it leaves a real clue for what we should do.
We're not going to spoil anything, but yeah, we're cooking for Perth Nats. We're cooking.
Beautiful.
We're always cooking.
Let me know when you want me to do my interview about my performance.
Hey, you'd be a good one.
No, I wouldn't. I'm going to come 15th.
You can be the
2
Daniel
dogs.
Ricciardo.
Always goes and gets his groceries at 9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Wednesday.
There you go. See, we know.
I've got a very strict schedule.
I think you nailed it, man. It's about meeting the viewers. And I think the wonderful thing that Kris has done is created a streaming service that any meet director in Australia, if you are listening to this and you need to get your live stream sorted, I don't know why you haven't DM'd Kris about it yet, but this man is a wizard with it. And you look at the Night of Champions stream, it speaks for itself. Look at the stream you guys are going to put on here this weekend. If you want to get your meet out there, online is the place to do it. And it starts with meeting the viewers of a quality stream, quality commentators, camera angles, and the overlays. It just started with an idea with Night of Champions 1, hey.
Yeah.
So
built it out.
when I went to Uzbekistan in 2015 for Oceanas,
Did you go to Uzbekistan?
I did. Did
I've
you know
heard
that?
about it 5 times.
Have you?
From you
Oh, thanks.
today.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know you actually listen to me. It's nice to know. Yeah, when I went to Uzbekistan 2015 for Oceanas, the IPF didn't even organise a stream. So one of the guys from the Australian team, he just brought his laptop. He set his laptop up on the side of the, like on a chair, on, you know, with his webcam, on a chair in the front row, just like facing the platform. No graphics, nothing, no commentary, zero. That was the stream for international IPF comp in 2015.
Sounds like the latest Masters.
That's how far we're coming. Bro, it was 50 times worse than the latest Masters one. Like, it was internet in a hotel in Uzbekistan that would cut out every 3 seconds, and you'd see, like, you know, 2 frames per second powerlifting stream. Like, it was horrendous.
And we want to bring the sport to people, right? So if you can't view something, what are you going to do? You're going to switch it off straight away.
Exactly right, yeah.
Like, how easy is it, Chris, for the meet directors to get on board now?
Oh, it's super easy. And I think, like, you know, that's where there's just some really simple mistakes that we made in the early days that we've learnt from, that we're happy to share that. And that's, you know, people just need to reach out in the community, and we can have those chats, you know, about, hey, you don't need to spend a heap of money, because people think, oh, I need a better camera. It's like, no, you don't. You need to set the settings up properly and, you know, work through that. And then there's those key things like having the good commentary that just make that accessible, because not a lot of people, you know, that people don't understand, right? Like that most of the athletes, even at a novice level or an intermediate level, train 15 hours a week, right? Like, you know, and that's where we need to sell those stories. And if you can't do that through the stream, people just will fast forward. They'll step out of the room till their mate's back on in 10 minutes time, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, so that's where I'm starting to focus now a lot, is like looking into the metrics on YouTube after the events, and like, are we seeing average viewing time of just like 3 minutes? You know, they're just tuning in to watch their mate and then they're out. Or are we actually starting to see people stay for longer periods and things like that? And yeah, they skip bench press, but that's all good.
That's not going to change.
but you know, that's the importance of it. And I think, you know, to your point, Netflix changed the game when it came to sports. Their sports docos are second to none. We were just talking before, I was watching the Mr. McMahon one on the way over last night. Amazing. What's the athletics one's called? Sprint. Like, that was incredible.
No.
Bro,
Again,
Sprint,
athletics,
so good.
boring as hell. But man, the stories of those people and the personalities and that sort of stuff, like,
You're watching a
makes
45-minute doco to watch them run 10 seconds. And
Yeah.
I'm fully invested. All I know is, can they do
And
it?
like, that's totally accessible for powerlifting as well. Like, we train for, like you said, Chris, hours and hours per week, and you do 2 comps a year maybe, and you're on the platform
9
for 9
minutes at a
minutes,
time.
and most people aren't even on the platform for 9 minutes. Like, I set up within 3 seconds, and I'm probably on the platform for 90 seconds the whole day
Fun Night of Champions fact, 52 seconds
per lift.
per lift.
That's
Loaded bar
very
and
fast.
unloaded bar.
It's very fast.
Pretty cool, eh?
I'm going to send my lifters out late tomorrow, just to give everyone,
Slow it
everyone
down
Gives
a
me
bit.
more
time.
MC talking time.
Just like wait till 10 seconds on the clock. All right, out you go, Yanni. Knowing she takes 1 second to set up a deadlift. Something you said, Chris, about nationals, circling back to the nationals discussion, which I thought was really important, or just like a really good way to highlight why nationals needs to be a high level, or why it can be a high level, is, like you said, the growth internationally. If we're looking at the podium at a world's meet, and let's say it's the 6 kilo class, I think the podium was all 697. Is that right? They were all tied 697.5. I'm fairly sure. Why would our qualifying total for nationals be 500 kilos? Like, what would be the actual point of that? Like, if you look at how far the world standard is, and you think about nationals as the point to get to worlds, and you know, you don't want to just get to worlds, you want to actually be someone there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just going to send people
Competitive,
just
yeah.
because we can, which is obviously why we have the world's QTs as well, to safeguard us from there. But like, why would our nationals QTs be super, super low if the world standard is all the way up here?
The other thing is, people, when you're hosting those big meets, this is what's hurt previous iterations of federations.
You can
as
say the
they've-
name, we'll just beep it out.
Beep. So they wanted capital. It was revenue raising. They wanted as many people as they could get in a weekend, and they want to cram them all in. They didn't care about your athlete experience. They didn't care about organization in terms of the coaches and the referees and spectators. They didn't care how those volunteers were treated necessarily in terms of, you know, are we cooking people 3 days in a row or not? It was revenue. And I think the great thing about APA is they're like, well, we know we're only going to get X amount of revenue, so we can't just rely on, you know, athletes paying their ticket. We need to create revenue and wealth other places. And if we want to keep elevating the sport, you know, we don't expect the athletes to just keep forking out more and more money to make that happen. We need to start branching out to other revenue streams. And to do that, we need more eyes on the sport, because that's how you grow.
And yeah, the real way you make money as a powerlifting federation is more members and more local meets.
Yep.
The way you get more members is you run more local meets. You give more people the opportunity to do their first comp, do their second comp.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think something you said there, athlete experience, like super overlooked when we're talking about just revenue stuff, because like if we're thinking how many people can we get through the door here, we're thinking, okay, we can fit 14 in a group, 3 groups per session, 3 sessions per day, whatever that maths ends up being. How is that for the athlete?
Yeah, exactly.
In a 14-person group, and then having to wait an hour and a half between squats and warming up for bench, and then again an hour and a half. Like, that is not putting the athlete first, when really we should be putting the athlete right at the top,
100%.
provided we're like breaking even.
We've had that feedback from other prime times that have ran in WA, where these comps have ran 6-hour prime times and stuff, and then people have come to Night of Champions and be like, that was done in like 3 hours. I go, that's the point.
Yeah.
That they're lifting the best they can right now, because they go back out the back, they rehydrate and eat a little bit, and they're back out again doing it. We're not telling them to go home, have a shower, and come back again for their bench, you know?
Yeah, there was a bit of a like exodus away from drug tested lifting in Melbourne, and a lot of drug tested lifters did pro roll. Like, they didn't jump on the gear, but a lot of drug tested lifters did pro roll because they introduced the sleeve division.
That's right.
And they all complained because they had 6 flights in a row.
6.
So they have 6 flights of squats. So if you're in the
Wow.
first flight of squats, you got to wait for flight 2, 3, 4, 5.
Actually, I've
and
heard of
6.
this I've never heard of 6.
do-
I've heard of 4.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
like,
heard of 6.
could you? And people were going home between squats. Like, do my squats. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go eat. Go to the chicken shop. Check the time.
You
Check
could
the
hit your
stream.
primer bench session between squat and actual bench. You could go down to the local gym, hit a couple of primer sets, go home, have a nap, and you're ready to go.
One by one at 5.
1 by 1 at 5. What would you hit?
Nothing.
But yeah, I think that's
I think that's so underrated, and that's one of the great things about the IPF. What they've done with the prime time at Worlds in the IPF is like eight lifters in the group, goes lightning quick. They got fast spotters.
Yeah.
Watching it is really good at home.
Yeah.
Watching a meet with 15 people in a group and 3 groups, it's like 5 hours.
yeah.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times? Well, I've only been to Open Worlds twice, so I can't really say it was that many times I've had to tell people. But when I've had people in prime time, and I've coached people in prime time in Malta, and then again in Lithuania, one of the things we were doing with Nat was 7 minutes. Everything you do is 7 minutes. Like, you're going to have to pull back-to-back world records in 7 minutes. That timer doesn't change. And I remember in Malta and in Lithuania, when we had other people in prime time, they just were not used to it, man. Like, it cooks people. Like, they're sitting there going, it's too fast. I go, it's not too fast. This is what it is. Like, you've watched this last year. You know how fast it is.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? 20 minutes between my sets.
And yeah, it's not,
talking.
and it's
like,
not something that you can't condition yourself for.
That
Like,
is,
you
this
can
is your whole job now.
absolutely
You knew
get
from nationals
fit
what to
for
do.
a powerlifting comp. Like, there is powerlifting conditioning. It does exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I fully back that in. If you're preparing yourself for one of these meets, maybe read the play a little bit. I know Masters Worlds had a lot of delays. You can't really predict that either. So you got to probably make a good case for being a very adaptable athlete on the day.
Just ask someone in the gym to tell you, like, all right, today we've got 6 in our group. All right, today we've got 13 in our group.
just
And
random
just
numbers.
randomly change
Random
your
numbers.
rest
Today,
periods.
no one weighed in, so you've actually won by default if you go one lift on each.
Today we've got a 2-hour delay, so just go sit on the couch upstairs for 2 hours and come back down.
Your training session's actually cancelled. We've moved it to tomorrow.
Oh dear. Are those
Yeah.
cameras not working, Chris?
They're having a time. We've got the big boys. It's fine.
All right. Chris, we interrupted you earlier. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, just again, building on that, the athlete experience and, you know, it does annoy me a bit when, you know, I see meet directors not spending money on their comps because, look, it's lucrative, right? Local, and I don't care what federation you're in, meet directors can make a decent amount of money off every lifter. And when I see none of that going, you know, back in, I mean, this year, like, we put all of ours back into prize money and, you know, LED screen and all this sort of crazy stuff for the meet. But when you see these meets with, you know, 30, 40 lifters and we don't even have a nice banner behind the platform or, you know, things like that, like, or they can't even get a stream organised, that annoys me.
It makes the athlete feel unimportant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I felt when I went to Uzbek when they didn't have a stream. I was like, I've just flown like halfway across the world.
Yeah.
And my parents at home can't watch me lift
Yeah.
for this thing I've been training for all year. It was pretty disappointing. And it's like, it doesn't feel nice to train that hard for something and then, you know, be made feel unimportant.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think meet directors, you know, when I approached starting to do meet directing, and I had learned this from Paul and Dan, it was every cent that I made on the meets went back to improving the meets for those first few years. And then when we started to actually turn like quote unquote a profit, like we had the banner, we had TVs, we had stream, we had all those kind of systems in the club. I literally, how many times have I walked around and gone, all right, what machine should we buy for the club now? Like it just goes back into the club. And I think that's what built such a good volunteer culture that we've got in the club because the members can recognize, oh, hey, Jay's not just running with this money in Europe. He's actually like just brought more hammer strength. For
Oh
us
yeah,
as
that
well.
back extension was from that comp that I spotted in.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's actually what happens. I put it up on my stories all the time. Like, hey guys, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to do that. And they see that money being reinvested into either the comps or the club itself. And that's the point, right? We run these meets to build these clubs and powerlifting out. So we definitely noticed a few meets where, you know, they're easily turning 4, 5, 6 grand. And where's that money going? Like you've not even got a banner up or you haven't got a stream or this or that. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, the meet director just got a new Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari 6 grand, eh? A new roller.
He's on 100 meets.
But
like
I think someone had said that when we started doing the volunteering thing, and someone had said like, "Oh, meet directors make enough money; they should pay the volunteers."
I saw that.
Yeah, and that good point. But I don't know what meets you're going to because if you had a good relationship with the meet director and you communicated well, and you know you guys actually looked at where the money was going, you'd probably realize that meet director is either one doing what we're talking about and complaining about where they are pocketing it. So I don't know why you keep supporting the meets. Or two, they are actually reinvesting in other ways that maybe you just haven't realized yet.
Yeah, like it's actually surprisingly expensive to feed volunteers.
Yep.
Give everyone a t-shirt. Like $25 per t-shirt.
Merch
Giving away
for
25
Night of Champions
t-shirts.
Powermania cost me $1,000 to get everyone merched up. Like that's $1,000.
Like we're
Like,
putting a meet on in December just to pay for what we're paying for tomorrow.
yeah,
Like,
but
we're doing
everyone looks
another
good.
meet
Like
just to pay for-
it makes me happy now when I'm looking at all the photos and videos and all those spotters and loaders have now got a shirt from the day. I see people wearing around the club all the time now. Like that makes me feel so good
it's
that
sick.
we've been able to offer that to them as well. Like I'd rather spend the $1,000 on them than have the $1,000 in my bank account just sitting there feeling good about myself. Like
Would you?
yeah. It's okay for now. It's not interrupting my travel, so it's okay.
So you mentioned that you went to Lithuania,
How many times?
like at least 10 today.
Yeah.
So I wanted to actually
Chris
get...
went as well.
I know.
With John Tran.
I
John
know.
Tran
John
came as
Tran
well.
went as
Johnny
well.
Tran was there.
Best friends.
I want to get a story from either of you on a particular moment, and I've picked your moment. I've picked both of your moments because I know these would be your favorite moments. Although Chris, maybe watching Kelly lift was probably better. But so I'll start with you, Chris. You actually had beers with Ryan Lapidot night before one of the days,
Yeah.
and you got talking about how you do all the streaming stuff and how you do commentary and everything. And he was like, you know what? Why don't you jump on the commentary with me tomorrow? And you jumped on the commentary with Ryan at Worlds. Talk me through that experience and like? What was that like?
Yeah. Yeah, look, it was that was wild. So yeah, it was after Meg Scanlon won and Durans had just beaten Russ, and like that was the craziest night. Like the atmosphere in there for both of those sessions was just incredible. Anyway, we're all back at the hotel after, and there's a bar on the roof, and we're having some drinks and some food and whatever with Megs and her husband. And then we end up catching up with Ryan, and a lot of people like, oh yeah, Ryan only cares about the pros, and it's like that's not. He's just a real nice guy and loves powerlifting, loves the sport. And so we ended up, we're in a park having some beers like 3 a.m. in the morning because we're just all talking shop. Who's going to win Sheffield? Has Perk pushed the 74 record too far now? Like, Bob just going to be able to walk in and take it. And I mean, all that's changed
Shell's going to
now
win.
completely.
Yeah.
But,
Shell's going to win, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And then we just wrapped up. And then the next day was the AGM. And then on the Thursday morning, we were sitting there to watch Ebony, I think it was, in the under 76s.
69s.
And
69s.
69, sorry. It's like 3 minutes before the stream was about to start. And I like look up and there's someone trying to give me a fist pump. And it was Ryan. And I'm like, oh, hey, man. Hey, like, good to see you. And he's like, hey, like, Potts is feeling crook today. Could you, like, jump on the stream with me?
Was Potsy supposed to do it?
Amelia, yeah.
Amelia Potts, okay.
Because she'd been going like all week because
yeah.
Joe was sick, and so those two had been like 14-hour days every day. And
Joe did all the bench worlds. Yeah, he was there for Malta. Like they send them all around, so they get a bit burnt out.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, can you like you jump on the stream with me? You'll be right. Like,
okay. So I thought he told you the night before that you were going to jump on it. That's even better.
No, it was wild, man. So it was like,
got 3 minute notice.
3 minute notice.
Yeah. We were showing him Night of Champions stuff the night before. He was like, this is unreal.
That's so cool.
And he's like, walked me down to the media desk, and he goes up to Eric, the producer. He's like, this guy's going to commentate. And Eric's like, Who's this guy? Like, we haven't had time to vet him. Or like, and Ryan's like, no, it's all good. Like, I talked to him in a park. It's fine.
We had 3 a.m. beers.
Mate, I think that's actually what he said to him. That's literally what he said. He said, we had 3 a.m. beers. So good.
And Eric's like, all right. Just don't swear. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine.
Ryan
we're
doesn't
good.
strike me as a beer guy.
Had it.
There was vodka. There was
Yeah,
vodka.
he strikes me as a spirit.
It's
mixed
Lithuania.
guy.
You can't buy alcohol after a certain time in Lithuania as well. They've got a bit of a drinking problem over there.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't buy it on Sundays.
Couldn't buy it on Sundays. Yeah, it's actually
strange.
a thing. Yeah. So when we went to go, because where Lithuania was actually like a resort. It wasn't actually like a proper city or town. So you couldn't even go up to like a bar to go get a drink. It didn't exist. You had to drink in the park. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a quiet little town. It was really
commentating.
quite strange.
So how'd you actually find the commentating then?
Yeah, I mean, first couple of minutes was pretty nerve wracking. Like chucked in. I didn't know any of the lifters. Couldn't like all these European names.
Yeah, a lot of names you can't pronounce.
Like far out. But like the amazing thing is that they, Ryan had already been out the back room and had like grabbed them and written like how to pronounce their names and things like that. So that was pretty cool. And I think just having like he took the lead obviously, and then just he was just able to just throw questions to me then. So I didn't really have to think too much. It was just like what do you think about that, Kris? What's your thoughts on this one? How much more do you think that lifter might have? All that sort of stuff, which was cool. And then by the end of squats, you're kind of in the zone, and yeah, good experience. And then the team was happy, and they got me back on the Sunday, I think it was. Did the 84 plus and 120 plus B group on the Sunday morning as well, which is cool. So got through a couple of sessions, and if I'm ever back over there, I think might get the opportunity to do it again, which would be cool. So
you're nice and experienced for lead commentating tomorrow.
Absolutely
beautiful. We love it. That's why we brought you over. So because you have so much experience with it. Jacob, the moment I've chosen for you is your own lifter Natalie Lalai breaking the open deadlift world record, biggest deadlift ever in IPF history for a female. Talk me through what that was like. Not just like being on the coaching team and handling someone who did it, but it's actually your athlete and being there with her for that moment. Talk me through it.
I undershot it. Should have put 280 on. Nat knows that as well. It's incredible. Like I have tried describing it a few times now, but it's pretty surreal. Lithuania, I was definitely, I guess I want to call more used to it comparative to Malta. Malta, the chaos of the coaching team. And the fact that Bonica had bombed and Nat had to pull that 275.5 to try and get on the podium, like I felt like I was shaking. Like that was pretty crazy. Like to be an Australian athlete going for a podium after so many years of us not being near there in the open class, that was pretty surreal. And her first year at Worlds as well. So it's just hype. It's just blur. Like it's such a blur. This year I definitely felt a bit more composed. John was really good out the back as well with Nat. Nat felt very comfortable with John. I think that's the great thing with having a good coaching team is the athletes trust the coaches, the assistant coaches, everything. Like even if I wasn't there, I actually have full faith that the team would have been, like Nat would have been fine.
And there's also like a mix of personalities and experience types
Yes.
on the team as well. So like each athlete has a chance to actually choose someone that they mesh with, which I think is really, really important.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that we wanted to do, like with the coaching committee, was actually give the athletes the chance to choose who they wanted. Because I think it's so important to feel comfortable
100%.
on comp day.
100%. And yeah, like obviously me and Nat had that goal and she knew she could do it. She knew there was more there as well, which is cool. But yeah, her walking out, man, her family in the crowd, like the crowd, man, like
It's wild.
not only Nat herself just being a phenomenal athlete, but just the crowd, man. Like her dad and her husband, Taz, they pull out the drums, man. They get buckets. They start slamming it. They broke the buckets. The buckets just like literally disintegrated. And everyone stands up, man. Like World's prime time is just different. Like I'm still trying to see something that matches it. But, you know, like Durance, like that was crazy, man. Like those are the moments when you pay for live sport and you go there and you watch it and you go, I can't even describe what we just did. To be out the back and watching that do that and be, you know, 3 meters away from it, incredible, man. Best feeling.
You cried, didn't you?
I got teary maybe this time. Yeah, pretty teary. But I think I was more hyped this time. I got teary hard in Malta.
Yeah.
Malta, I got teary hard because I was nervous, man. Like I've never been in that situation before.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
Like how many times have you had a client going for a podium position at Worlds? Like in open Worlds, in one of the most competitive weight classes now. Like doesn't happen, man. So that was pretty overwhelming. I think that made me a better coach though. I was able to reflect a lot and I was able to get my emotions in a better place now, which is good. But yeah, probably should have put 280 on. She had it. She was good for it. She was good for it.
It was good for it a week later.
She was good for it a week later and she flew, like she hadn't trained for 10 days, flew back and still tugged it. Like, so we'll see what she can
Strength is loyal.
do. Yeah.
Strength is loyal.
That was, if anyone ever has the opportunity, I think to, you know, get on the coaching team and have an athlete fly over to these locations. There's so many crazy locations that these Worlds and Oceanias and regionals are in. Do it. It'll only make you a better coach. It'll only broaden your horizons and make you see things from a different perspective. And very blessed to have been given the opportunities that I have, and I hope there's more for sure.
#blessed.
#blessed.
Now, Jacob, you put up a story on your Instagram. Did you get any questions?
Ooh, let's have a look, eh?
Let's have a look at some questions.
I think Big Ben asked, "What's our favorite pie?"
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
good question.
I have strong opinions on this.
Okay.
So I think that pepper steak is the best pie.
I'm going to agree with you.
And might be a weird hot take. I actually like pies that don't require sauce. So like pepper steak doesn't require sauce.
Yep, I agree with
Shepherd's
that.
pie doesn't require sauce. Curry pie doesn't require sauce. Those are my 3 favorite pies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go pepper steak. I'd back that in.
Yeah,
Kris?
I
rate that.
agree. Pepper steak would probably be my first choice, and then maybe like steak and cheese or something second. But
Interesting.
I'm up there with pepper steak as well.
Other Kris, favorite pie?
I'm a cheese and bacon, man.
Cheese and bacon. Breakfast pie. What else we got, Jacob? Any more questions?
I actually have 2 good questions.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
It's so
What's-
hard to get good questions. People just troll.
People do troll.
Fucking annoys me.
These are 2 good questions out of 30.
Yeah, exactly.
But the
That's what I
ratio's
mean.
not great.
Oh, give me 2 troll ones first.
Oh, okay. Soft or hard tacos?
That's not really a troll question. I prefer soft.
Yeah.
Of course you do. I'm a hard boy.
I feel like it's not the 1990s anymore. Soft is the only way.
No. What?
Hard tacos?
2-1 here.
Hard
Chris, back
tacos.
me.
Chris is the ultimate food. Chris's opinion on food reigns supreme. Nah, hard tacos just fall apart.
Yeah. It was the 90s thing, right? Like growing up in country New South Wales in the 90s, like Old El Paso Tuesday night.
Are you from New South Wales?
Yeah, man. I'm from Muswellbrook. I'm from the Hunter.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I only moved to Perth like 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was the every Tuesday in New South Wales in the 90s.
Taco Tuesday. LeBron invented that.
Some dodgy beef mince with some lettuce and some sour cream.
Sounds good. Sounds good, honestly.
I'll say the worst soft taco is worse than the worst hard taco.
Why? Because it goes sloppy?
Yeah, because it's
Soggy?
sloppy and liquidy and shit.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair.
If a hard taco goes sloppy, it's just a soft taco. I'm not wrong.
It's true.
No one argued.
It is true.
Yeah, that was a troll one.
Talking-
Have you ever had a
talking to
fight in the back room?
Talking to the mic.
Have you ever had a fight in the back room of powerlifting comp?
A fight?
Like a little scruffle, little one of these, you know?
No, never like a physical one. Verbal.
I've been there where you've had a verbal one.
I wouldn't even call that a fight.
That wasn't a fight.
Potsy was just wrong.
Yeah,
And
no,
he
you were
knows-
right. He
knows
was wrong.
Now that he was
Yeah,
wrong. And
he was wrong, yeah.
If I see him tomorrow, I'm going to tell him again.
Yeah. I told him a lot in Malta.
Verbal. The only times I've got annoyed with people verbally is if they don't put their shit away after squats. That's what annoys me the most. Like, final squatter of the group does their last warm up as the group's starting.
Yep.
It's fucking like 250, and they just leave it and piss off. The coach pisses off. It's like, bro, you've got 8 minutes before their opener. Like, just pack up some plates. That annoys me. What's the other thing?
People not putting their attempts on time is mine.
Well, then they just don't get an attempt.
Exactly, but
Sucked in.
they start blasting like the tech desk and stuff. I get so annoyed at that, man.
Yeah, well, that's just not knowing the rules. Once I got into a bit of a verbal with someone who I won't name at APU Nationals 2022. That wasn't in the back room, though. I actually won't tell that story. That's one for after.
Actually, I know that story.
That's one for after.
I know that story.
Yeah, that wasn't in the back room. What about you?
No, I've definitely, as I think meet director and having the meets, I've definitely gone off at people, quote unquote. But I think that's just more pulling people into line, like you said, like put your shit away, or you're doing something dangerous, like you're going to hurt someone because you're not putting collars on, your plates are sliding off or something like that. But I don't think anything else. Chris, you've got an all about it? No.
Random videographers and photographers that sneak into back rooms and that sort of stuff that you have to grab. But yeah, again, it's just crowd control.
Yeah, it's just crowd
I
control.
haven't gotten in a fight with anyone.
More questions?
What's something that you've recently learned in your coaching experience?
I haven't learned anything in a long time, Jacob.
You haven't got
I'm
a
just
growth,
kidding.
you haven't got a growth
I
mindset,
actually-
mate.
I would need to have been prepared for this one. You
Yeah,
go first,
same.
and I'll think.
Chris, what have you recently learned in your coaching experience?
Do you coach, Chris?
I coach professionally.
What do you actually do?
Good question.
Whole podcast, you don't know what he does.
This podcast might be.
No one knows what it is. I'm an enigma. Look, I work in mining. I'm a plant mechanic by trade, but did a heap of time in like maintenance management and things like that. And these days, I head up a team, digital transformation. So I just got a team of like data scientists and stuff. We just play with AI. Yeah, trying to come up with better ways of doing things.
So
like
how
that.
is AI going to change powerlifting streams?
Well, could probably get AI commentators, to be honest.
Could probably get you back for a full episode on that.
We could, but like things like I mean, this camera you're using now may even have it, but like things like AI face tracking, stuff like that, which will allow, local meets to have to have streams that feel like worlds, where like the camera follows a lifter out and things like that, without having to have a person stand behind the camera and all that type of stuff. So I think there are some applications where AI will start to impact that. To be honest, like I've had my data scientists play around a little bit. I can do AI depth detection. but whether or not they ever move to that in the sport, not sure. But yeah, there's a heap of cool
They need it for
things
bench.
like that.
Video replay.
They
would
need it
be
for
sick.
bench. They should have a line.
We need like a, in cricket how they have the Hawkeye when they go to the LBW.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing, when the ball comes in and it bounces and then it goes and knocks the bails
That's
off.
not even
It's my
that hard to
favourite.
do.
I love it.
Like I just don't know how they haven't got it yet. Because then the jury aren't going off something qualitative. It's quantitative. A line is a line. Like that is the same line based on the bench. It's there. No one needs to change anything. I don't know why we don't have that. I can half understand a reason for squat depth because you've got, different angles and like hip crease spotters kind of in the way. But elbow depth is clear as day, man. Like that is the easiest line to draw.
You just have to be able to move it to the center of the shoulder. But yeah.
Back to the question about coaching systems. Do you have an answer yet?
No.
So my
Not
answer
that I can
is
think of.
nothing that's actually noticeable, because the way that I do things, like things evolve very slowly over time.
Yeah.
But I think the more that I coach, the more I realize like how different the responses we can get out of different people, but also how different we can get the same person to train and get a similar response. Like I think that the target for what is actually necessary for training is actually way bigger than what we've ever thought.
Like there's such a broad stroke to what you could actually
such
apply for
a
someone.
broad stroke to what you could apply to someone. As long as you're doing the main lifts, that's pretty much the only thing that we really need to keep in all the time. But like we can get someone moving forward doing just about anything, no matter what level they're at.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think, once again, I don't know if this is a new concept, but I think it's something that I've done more now after having like a few high-level athletes do big meets, guys coming off junior worlds or open worlds. It's been getting experimentative with their programming and going like, I want to try this, and be like, yep, cool, let's run it. Like, let's see where this can go. And it probably having positive effects with their training because of the open-mindedness and trying something new, and they're engaged, they're brought into it.
Yeah, that's something
that's
that
actually probably
that's something that I
new.
love. Is like if the athlete's bought in, it will probably work,
100%.
no matter what it is.
Yep, totally agree.
And yeah, like just comes back to like how broad the scope for our decision making really is.
So I've got one more question, and I'm going to ask both of you because I got a half a bias. I'll ask Alex first. What are you most excited for having Open Nationals in Perth?
I've never been to Perth, so probably just going to Perth.
Have you never been to Perth?
I've never been to Perth.
Oh, this is going to be a big holiday for you, mate. It's a long travel.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get a couple of nights without the kids, so that'll be nice. That's probably what I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah.
No, not really. What am I looking forward to most? I think this might be the first year where I have lifters who actually want to go to Worlds. So putting them in a position where they can win and actually earn their spot to Worlds, I think is probably what I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah.
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 Thinking mostly about Yanni and Liz.
Was your closest battle, obviously, Liz won.
Yeah.
Won this year. Was your closest battle, did you have an 84, 76?
Kate, 69.
Kate, yeah.
She came second.
She came second, eh?
Yeah, she pulled for second.
Did you have someone in 2022 at APU?
I did actually. Jamie, who got fucking robbed.
On
her
that
last
deadlift,
pull.
hey? Yeah, I remember that. So these are like the closest ones you've had that have kind of got close to hitting that Open Worlds title.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the thing I'm most looking forward to, is like just having the opportunity to
fight.
earn that spot to Worlds.
Yeah.
And like, it'll be cool. I haven't competed at Nationals myself since 2018, I think, or 2019. So it'll be my first Nationals in 6 years. So that'll be cool as well.
Chris, what are you looking forward to?
I think, I think other than the battles, because it's going to be incredible, given how high the standard is now. But outside of that, I think just excited to showcase Perth to people. We've got an incredible venue, literally right on the beach. It's going to be insane. And I think Perth, a lot of people give it a bad rap, but they've never actually been. I love it. I've moved from over this side of the country. I lived in Perth now for 8 years, and I think it's probably one of the best cities in the country. So, I'm just super keen to show it off to people, and it'll be an incredible event, no doubt.
Which battles are you looking forward to most? Because, you go first.
I think the female side of the draw is pretty stacked in almost all weight classes. I think that's going to be pretty incredible. I think like the 63s, 69s, 76s, and now under 84s and the 84 plus is going to be incredible.
Every
Like
class.
every one of those, there's going to be 3 or 4 lifters who want to do worlds. And so I think they're going to be just nuts, all of them. And then depending on who stays 52s and that sort of stuff, then 52s might be quite competitive as well. And then I think on the men's side, the one that stands out obviously is the 93s.
83s is the one.
The 83s,
Kana
yeah.
versus Tannis,
Yeah.
that's the one.
That's a good
Yeah,
one as
yes.
well.
That's going to be
That is
well. There's
incredible.
just so many
Sick.
headliners, eh? Like
Yeah.
this,
Can't-
the media we're going to have for this national is
Yeah,
going to be so crazy.
Kana versus Tannis is like epic, and then
Yeah.
underneath those two, there's like 6 guys battling for third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then in the 105, it's literally a 6-way battle.
yeah.
The 5 we had this year, plus adding Hung into the mix. 120s again, Sam and Josh again, and then
Plus
a
a
few
few that
others, Tristan coming up, and a few others potentially
Chipping
Yeah.
away at it.
potentially getting close. And then the women's 84 plus, the women's 84. Yeah, like you said, the women's depth is really
crazy.
impressive right now. So I think this is our chance to send
This will be our,
our
strongest
best world's team
100%.
by far.
We just sent our best. I'll be honest. The one we sent to Lithuania was fantastic.
That
This-
wasn't quite as good as the 2016 Killeen, Texas team, which was like literally the best lifter in every weight class went to Worlds. So it was like
Do you reckon
just-
it was a different time though?
it was
Worlds,
obviously
South
not the world
Yeah.
stage wasn't anywhere near as competitive,
Yeah.
so the quality wasn't as high. But
You're saying
in
for the
terms of
standard
relative,
at the time,
in terms of
it makes
relative
sense, yeah.
competitiveness, yeah, like the team we just sent would smoke that team.
Yeah.
But in terms of relative competitiveness, that team was probably a little better. But this team that we're going to send next year is going to
Like
be
I
by far our
honestly
best.
think we're going to have half the team be prime time this coming like Worlds. Like I look at the numbers. The
Even
numbers are
even the 74, we got 3 guys vying for
Yeah.
first. Like
yeah.
93s is a few. I think like Takua versus
I would
Adam
just
is
love
gonna
to
be
see
crazy.
if there are any 120 plus big boys come out of the shadows, roll up to Stubbs. I want to see this man battle.
We need Tony Rymouth to come back.
Get Cam McKenzie to come back and just go 120 plus.
I invited him to the cup, and he's just got married and he's on his honeymoon.
That's
So,
okay.
Um,
We all make excuses.
I
good
would.
excuse,
I actually
actually.
really want to see someone beat Cam's total, whether it be Sam or Josh, beat Cam's best total of 888, and then Cam's no longer number 1 in Australia, and he sees it and goes, "Fuck, I'm coming back."
Yeah, I think that'll be the push.
I actually
right?
think that is the only thing that will get him to come back.
Yeah, I think that'll be
and
the
I
push.
don't think Sam or Josh is too far from that.
Nah,
So-
I think we're going to see something pretty incredible tomorrow from Sam. I
Yeah.
reckon he's
I reckon
looking
he's
pretty
good
on.
for about 870. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think nationals. I think we were doing the maths the other day. I think to take home that national title, you have to look at 880 plus.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not in your grasp. You know.
Mm.
I also have my bias on the athletes that I have, but I just love watching Lucy and Nat go at it. Like on that last day, like. I think if we can get some deeper representation on the 120 plus, that'll be great to end. Unfortunately, Jackson was on his own this year, so hopefully we got a few boys that come out, but
Have we had many more compete this year?
haven't checked. We'll have to do some.
Because
data.
when I did check for checking how many people had qualified, there was only 2 in the 120 plus who'd qualified. The other one was
just
Benny.
letting the 120s know if you did qualify as a 120, you hit the QT for a 120 plus, you can go up for nationals.
That is
So-
true, but isn't the QT like 800?
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty high.
It's very high for the 120
Damn.
plus. Yeah.
It's pretty high.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, those top 5 120 boys, if you're considering a world spot and you want to battle Jackson for it, up you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited to
that's
have-
Samisi. Samisi needs to go up. Samisi, if you're listening, you need to go up.
Yeah, he does.
Is he going to
Let
go
him-
up?
Nah, he's going to do 120 for Nats, I think. But he's got a young family, man. He's juggling a lot. I'm very proud of the work that he puts in. You know, he trains at 11 p.m. at night when everyone goes to bed. Like the dude hustles.
Yeah, I watched his Night of Champions video.
Yeah, the dude hustles, and I know Night of Champions wasn't what he wanted it to be, but I think you got to learn those lessons to keep being better as a lifter, right? We don't all have perfect meets. That just wasn't his. He had such a good meet at juniors. Like he had a perfect day at juniors. It's very hard to keep backing those up, continuously. So he needed that. But I'm excited to have everyone over in Perth. We're on the beach, Scarborough. the training, training at Strength Club, having everyone in there at a new venue, which is 12-minute drive away, 10-minute drive.
10-minute drive.
It's literally
yeah.
one street straight up.
I've heard that Perth is on.
Perth is very on. It's February. It's you're on the beach. Bring your bathers. Bring a beer. Have some fun.
I've heard the beers taste better in Perth too. Is that true?
They do because it's just such good weather all the time.
Yeah, we have 6 months of no rain. Like it doesn't rain over summer at all.
It
So
doesn't rain, bro.
Our
February,
weather's
it'll be
fucked at the
perfect.
moment. Yeah, is there any more troll questions? Let's finish on a troll question.
Finish on a troll question. A lot of pie questions from Ben. I'll be honest. David Hoffman says, "I love you guys." I love David. That's not really a question.
That's not a
though.
troll. Love you too, David.
Best way to be a massive dick in the warm-up room.
What's the best way?
Yeah.
Probably leave your bag in the middle of this platform that everyone wants to warm up on.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone work in with you.
Stare at them while they're warming up, face first.
Walk directly past people and into people's bars while they're actually squatting.
Yep.
Don't pack away after yourself.
If they're walking out, actually jump out in front of them.
Put your talc on like in the middle of the gym, like the place that has the most foot traffic.
You should actually apply your talc onto the bench where people are about to bench press for the next session.
Put talc in the chalk bowl as well.
That's a good one.
Put chalk in people's talc bottles. What else? I don't know.
That was pretty good. That was actually a good run. I have to give you that.
I'm actually upset that I got you guys on the podcast when Sam and Tom are downstairs. I'm just kidding.
Why don't you just back it up? Cancel your next PT and get them up
Yeah,
there.
okay. All right, we'll wrap it up there, boys. Thanks
Do you
for
even
joining
have a
me.
PT session now?
I do, yeah, 2:30,
Oh.
which is in 7 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks for joining me, boys. That
Thanks,
was
mate.
episode 38. Thanks, Kris. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers,
Ciao.
mate.